Hey Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rachakadash, the ones, the apostles of great millstone that root well, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways doing the works sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith. Lord, when we're found in that number to be delivered, and likewise for some of you sisters who truly trust and believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, may you be found worthy as well. Alright, so I believe I'm going to entitle this Back to the Mixed Multitude. All right. And, after thinking about things and pondering on things, this Levite who came up, like I said, he tried to be, subtle. He tried to be slick and, asking the questions the way he did. And he truly believed in his heart that he was going to be able to come up and use the scriptures that he had to prove that salvation was for everybody. And this is why he referenced the scriptures with the mixed multitude. All right. This is why he went there, because he was trying to prove a point that when Israel came out of Egypt and that mixed multitude of people that was with him, he concludes that that mixed multitude were the ones actually receiving salvation as well. All right. So let's go to Exodus the 12th chapter, and we'll get right to the 38th verse. Now 37. It says, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot, that were men besides children, and a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks of herds and very much cattle. Okay, so he was steadfast in believing that the children of Israel, when we were delivered from the hands of Pharaoh, and the mixed multitude got delivered as well. All right, but you got to see and understand one thing. When the Lord told Moses to go speak to Pharaoh, he didn't mention anything about any other nation of people. Okay, now it's not written, but I believe that this mixed multitude saw the hell that was going on up in Egypt, and they seen an opportunity to get the hell out of Dodge. But that didn't mean, and I can speak, that's just my perception, but that doesn't mean that they received a special deliverance from the Lord. All right, and this is how he was trying to put two and two together for the future deliverance of us being delivered out of Babylon, saying that everybody can make it. And the Lord is going to get very specific on this upcoming delivery. All right, so let me go from here. All right, so this is I'm gonna go through a few books just to prove the point that even though that mixed multitude of people fled out with Israel, the Lord wasn't concerned with these people. All right, so in Exodus chapter 5, the Lord makes mention to Moses and Aaron to tell Pharaoh to what? Let my people go. All right. Moses and Aaron wasn't sent to Pharaoh to say, let the Israelites go, and also the mixed multitude. All right. Exodus chapter 7. Again, it says, and thou shalt say unto him, the Lord power, the power of the Hebrews, has sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me. Okay. And this is what the Lord wanted. The Lord wanted his people to serve him in righteousness. So that mixed multitude of people doesn't have anything to do or any concern with the Lord, man. In having the type of salvation that you people are trying to label them with. All right. Exodus chapter 8. Again, and the Lord spake unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh and say unto him, thus saith the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. Okay. The Lord wasn't concerned about that mixed multitude of serving him. Lord didn't give a damn about that mixed multitude. But like I said, I believe that, they seen the shit that was going on over in Egypt, the firstborns being killed, the plagues, the locusts, the blood water, all these things that were going on. It was like, listen, it's time to go. It's time to get up and go. And that's exactly what they did. All right. So it goes on and on. Chapter 9. Thus saith the Lord power, the power of the Hebrews, let my people go that they may serve me. Okay. And right on down to chapter 10. Let my people go that they may serve me. All right. So it's a far stretch, and the pitch you're throwing ain't reaching the plate, my man. To say that because these people fled, out of Egypt with Israel, that they received that salvation, that all of Israel, of the hopeful elect, is going to receive during this upcoming destruction. And this is exactly what he said. He says salvation is for everyone, and he used this very same scenario to prove the fact that because they came out with Israel, they must have been blessed with Israel. All right. So it's all about the Lord, saying to Aaron and Moses, to Pharaoh, let my people go. All right. So let's get a couple more points. Now let's take it back to the time of Noah. All right. So when Noah was on the scene, this was known as the first death, the flood. Now, there were many people that was around Noah, that knew Noah, and that seen him building that ark, who probably thought he was out of his mind for building a boat in the middle of the inland. Right? But here's my question. Out of all those people, why weren't there any other individuals besides the Hebrews that were on the ark? Why weren't there anybody else? All right, just because the Lord has always delivered us, from the hands of our enemies in certain situations, man. Shit, the Lord delivered us unto our enemies. He delivered us to our enemies and delivered us from our enemies. You see? But just because we were delivered out of Egypt, that doesn't constitute you can now equate that mixed multitude, as being blessed to receive, a promise, or to receive, a position as a joint heir. All right. So going to the book of Genesis, the 7th chapter. I'm gonna start at the 13th verse and just read down for a minute. It says, in the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. All right. So there you have it. This was the first great destruction of the world. And only Noah, his wife, his sons, and their wives were the only ones, man. So keep in mind, this next deliverance is going to be the children of Israel only. There's not going to be any mistaken or any other understanding about who's going to be in that chariot, man. Okay? As a matter of fact, let me read down a little bit more. And it says verse 15, it says, and they went in unto Noah into the ark. Slaki, I don't have my glasses on, so bear with me. It says, and they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle and creepy things, and the fowls of heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. You see that? Everybody else got destroyed. So when it comes to these major deliveries, man, it's all about, that chosen line. Just take when Lot was delivered out of Sodom and Gomorrah, man. The scripture says, and delivered just Lot from the filthy conversation. All right. Now Sodom and Gomorrah, and I believe it was those 5 cities around it, all got destroyed, man. And only Lot and his daughters made it out. You see? So the Lord has done marvelous things for his chosen people, man, that chosen line. So from there, let me go back to Exodus, the 12th chapter, because there's a point I want to get here. All right, so we read that there was a mixed multitude that went up with Israel, right? And let me read down a little bit. Let me start at I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna start at verse 41. Now I'll start at 40. It says, "Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years." All right. So once again, it's making reference to the children of Israel, not that mixed multitude. And I'm bringing this point forward because this Levite tried to make a point stating that because they fled out with Israel, they were delivered. And the deliverance that the Lord spoke of unto Pharaoh was only concerning the children of Israel. All right, so check it out. Verse 40, "Now the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of the 430 years, even the selfsame day, it came to pass that all the hosts of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt." And it says, verse 42, "It is a night to be much observed unto the Lord for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This is that night of the Lord to be observed of all the children of Israel in their generations. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, This is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof." Okay, so this night that was going to be remembered was only and solely and strictly for the children of Israel. All right, you read about the multitude coming out, but you don't read anything else about that multitude, because it wasn't about the multitude, it was about the children of Israel. So you can't sit there and put or even try to explain the fact that they came out with Israel in a fashion of the deliverance, and therefore now they're blessed to be delivered. No, it doesn't work like that, man. It clearly doesn't work like that. All right. So from there, let me go here. This is Isaiah 26:20. All right. If salvation is for everyone, we still need to identify why the Lord still refers to the children of Israel of being his people. All right. And you still got people coming up today. As a matter of fact, the dude said to me when I made the mistake in saying that multitude was all Israel, which I was thinking of Revelation, the 7th chapter. But he said to me, "You're trying to make everybody an Israelite." Okay, which is totally contrary to what is actually being spoken by us. Okay, he's the one that's trying to make everybody an Israelite. He's the one that's trying to bring salvation to everybody. You see? our position, and then and as he stated at the outset when we didn't catch it on camera, and I wish I wish it could have got caught on camera, the way he came up and the way he, approached the whole situation. He said, "I'm about to rip shit up out here today." And he came up, real, like I said, asking what camp you're from. But then while he was speaking, made mention that he said, "I watch all y'all." So to come up and say what camp you from, and then to make the confession that you watch everybody, watch all of us, why would you, just come up, man? You there, just be it. Yo, you got something to say it. I don't understand why people try to come up and be slick. Just come up, man. Just say what you gotta say. Like the time when Vocab went up to the apostles with all the, with cats laying in the shadows, coming out trying to play it like they don't know who's who and they never seen each other. That's some real bullshit there. That's some real bitch shit. At least this guy, at least he came out and, we went through it, and he was able to come, the Lord was able to, open his eyes a little bit, that he stayed and received some edification. All right. But this is Isaiah 26:20. It says, "Come, my people," you know? And like them Edomites we were dealing with a couple weeks ago, everybody can be an Israelite now. You have spiritual Israelites, you got Israelites that people just decide that they're going to be an Israelite, you know? But this is the inner workings of Babylon. This is how confusion, blossoms here in Babylon. "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chamber, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as if it were a little moment, until the indignation be overpast." Right? So this time around, this deliverance, there's gonna be no mistaking, who's up in that chariot, man. There's gonna be no mistaking. And this is why when you read, and I believe it was Wisdom of Solomon, it speaks about the strangeness of our salvation. Okay. All right. So it's all about the nation of Israel, and that this great deliverance that we're now going to be, Lord willing, a part of. People are gonna see us getting beamed up. They're gonna see us disappearing. There's not gonna be no mix. There's not gonna be any other heathenistic nation, you know, sliding in there. That's why we tell people, man, worry about your own salvation. Worry about yourself. If you're an Israelite and you trying to, understand what's going on, you gotta wipe your hands clean of these other nations, man. I don't give a damn how well you may be with them and how good of friends you are, and the relationship you may have, because all that's not gonna matter in the time of fucking destruction and judgment, man. None of that shit's gonna matter. All right. So again, the deliverance coming for us this time around, Lord willing, we are part of it. That deliverance is going to be unmistakable. Okay. Let me get this last one here. This is Revelation 21:8. It says, "But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death." Okay? So I bring this out to make mention that first death, it was Noah and his sons and their wives and nobody else. All right? When you go to Genesis, let me go grab it. Let me grab this real quick. Let me do it this way here. Genesis, the 5th chapter. It says, "This is the book of the generation of Adam, in the day that the Most High created, in the day that the powers created man, in likeness of the powers made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created." Okay? So there was many people on the planet, man, during the time of Noah. There was many people on the planet. But going back to that first death, only Noah and his sons and their wives survived, man. You see? Jumping back to Revelation 21, this is the second death. This is going to be another major delivery, man. Another major delivery that is only going to pertain to the nation of Israel, the seed of Israel. All right? So all that being said, the mixed multitude of people and anybody else who may feel or believe that salvation can be granted or rendered unto them because they just believe, it's just not going to happen, man. You got to be of the nation of Israel, of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to receive the blessings and the promises that were written aforetime. All right. So with that, I'm going to end it there. And Lord willing, I was edified. I say shalom.